So far 15 plus project, almost 7 to 8 implementation project I have been walked through. So I think I'm also a SAP authorized trainer. This is the first time I like to give it for training mode, right? Apart from the corporate. So I think all the materials I shows here is a SAP authorized material. So basically my sessions basically follows 5 pillars. Basically it's a very interactive and conceptual. Same time I do the practicals, right? I show with the real-time examples, right? And it's a step-by-step approach which talks about what is a master data which is involved, and same time the configuration. And we also, it's also certificate materials, right? It's also having all the certificate questions. Like I'll ask you a lot of questions wherever it's a certificate questions. Same time I go through with 1 hour the chapters or concepts completed, right? I'll ask you some questions, then we go through that, right? It's like a very practical course, right? We combines with to meet with the today's expectations. Okay, so I just go through briefly about right conceptuals, right? This is for audience, it's like system architect, project managers, right? Support consultants, super users. It all power users. It fits to most of the SAP executives, right? And basically we talk about now here introduction of S4 HANA and bit into SAP Fiori and that why we started S4 HANA, right? All these concepts we'll see here in this S4H01. So let's get started. So see why SAP comes up with new business suite, new model S4 HANA, right? We need to understand that insights into why we SAP comes up with S4 HANA futures. Basically, last 2 years, 90% of the world data has been generated. Before world data, it was now last 2 years itself, it's 90% of data that generated, right? That much of opportunities and data generation, that much of business is happening. And 85% of the CFOs thinking about adapting, how to adapt the complex systems. What is the innovation with speed? The expectation is. So the last 2 years, 40% of the growth adoption, business network has improved. Your internet speed as well as internet busyness has increased by 40%. By 2000, the biggest advantage is by 2020, 9 billion mobile users in this world, they're coming into Facebook, right? E-commerce like Twitter and the mobile phones, everything is available for them, right? And in by 2020 there will be 200 plus billion people will connected with IoT devices, right? Internet of things, right? It's a pretty good opportunity for every company to leverage their presence in globally, right? And 38% of worlds are proceed in the cloud. If you see this last year, the quarter results of cloud is almost 48 billion dollars every quarter. Almost Microsoft touches 120 billion dollars. Amazon touches 110 billion dollars. That is a sales in annually revenues in the cloud. That means the cloud adoption is so quick, right? And a lot of business were there. It's a pretty good opportunity for every company who leverage and who want to go with globally. So how can, right, there are so many of users are there, internet speed which is practically need to be improved, right, and the speed of data to be improved, how that can be possible. So using advanced technology like powerful multi-core and the huge memory. If you see the S4 HANA, it's having a huge memory, minimum 100 GB memory itself. All the data will be loaded into the memory. From there, your SAP Fiori and other platforms is going to work. So we have an evolution of digital world, right? We have seen R2, R3, ERP, and S4 HANA. R2 is typically it's a old type of systems, right? It's mainframes basically. So R3 is like client server architecture and client server and application, right? R3. And 2004 it started with ERP, enterprise resource planning. And 2015 it started with S4 HANA, right? So digital core, right? Next generation digital core. That is what the SAP brings up with. The digital core is, it combines of your sales, procurement, finance, manufacturing, research and development, and also EWM, and your SRM will be now here, supply network collaboration. All these comes under the digital core. Okay, this digital core integrate with many other modules like networks. Basically Concur is our time and expense management, right? It's a very simple application. Concur is, let's say in company a lot of will be travel to outside, right? Whenever they have an expense, they can, just the simple type that text and attach that and post it, right? System automatically can understand what is the time and expense management, and it will create an expense finally, and it will post to, once it is approved, and it will post into finance. Ariba network. Ariba is very fastest network in the world, where you having it's a beautiful platform where your customer as well as vendor sits into the same box, and the coordination between the customer and vendor very quick. Your invoice collaboration, everything can be automated using this Ariba, right? And success factors, right? It's a HR solution, right? It's a lot of features in success factors, right? Your employee engagement, right? Employee, right? Your time and timesheets and management, right? Everything can be possible through your success factors. Fieldglass is a new technology. So basically it's a external services management, right? Before in R3 ERP, we used to have service management, right? Whenever there is a services done, right? Using your service catalogs, right? External service confirmations, all these things can be done through Fieldglass. The best feature is here. You can raise a purchase requisition and you can sort out all the external vendor for services. Then you can choose your vendors who are the right vendors for this. Then you can negotiate with the vendor and you can give the contract. All these things, end-to-end life cycle of external services can be managed through Fieldglass, right? And digital core, manufacturing, right? Supply chain, all these are embedded in the digital core, So same time hybrids, it's like sales, service, and marketing and professional services we have. Now it's combined to recently as SAP is announced C4 HANA. Okay, C4 HANA. It's a like complete customer relationship management hybrid solution for one box itself, right? But anybody have any questions, you can ask. So how this great journey starts, right? Started in 2011, where initially started with all the BW transformations, BW to HANA, right? That is a transformations usually done. From there, SAP given warehouse management, right? Business warehouse management powered by HANA. Then SAP in 2011, they combined OLAP processor and OLTP processor. Now in S4 HANA, both are into S4 HANA itself. Both OLAP and OLTP, both are into S4 HANA. So and like comes under the OLTP. Analyticals basically where you run your analyticals, right? It comes under that. Now both features are combined, embedded into S4 HANA, right? And what are the new advantages is it's a new user experience advantage, right? Everything will be executed through SAP Fiori. It's a single platform across the board, across the S4 HANA, and advanced processing and very faster processing and many more. Okay, this is a beautiful slide, and it's S4 HANA platform. What are the different flavors are available here in S4 HANA in on-premise as well as cloud and hybrid model, right? If you see here, application services, right? It's possible all the web services. It's possible you can run through your presentation server, JavaScript, and Fiori UX, and graphic modular and application life cycles like front-end screens you can develop through your asset management and all those things. It will be used the front-end screens, your mobility and everything we can develop through application life cycle. The processing services here, special basically it's a graphical representative geotagging. All your assets in your company, all your people in our company, all your vehicles, what equipment, everything can be linked through IoT, and which will be displayed in your special graph. And based on that, let's say there is certain, maybe I'll show you the diagram. Let me show you the diagram, then I will explain more in details. Right, this is special analysis. Basically, let's say in your equipment there is an issue, right? So this is a place, and you can see your people also over here, and who is nearby the location. The system automatically sends the message to them and connect with them, and and it informs you there is a problem certain place, then you can go and repair it. System that much level of incident management that is possible through special analysis. Predictive, right? Predictive analyticals, basically it can be used wide areas in your company, especially manufacturing and plant maintenance areas. Let's say you're getting certain kind of repairs in certain period of time. Using this predictive analyticals, you can predict when this problem can be occur. Based on that, you can before itself, without shutdowning your project, without stopping your manufacturing running, all these things can be predict, and you can repair that, and we can change the spare parts, right? All these things can be services you can done by using predictive analyticals. Such is basically you can search anything, right, in your enterprise. And text analyticals and data enrichment, right, using data ETL tools like business objects and all those things, you can do data enrichment and series of data, right? You can map different datas and data virtualization. So you can virtualize entire your data from the memory to so that your Fury screens can fetch that data much quicker and present it to your presentation layer. There is a ETL, right? And streaming data. So Hadoop, we can integrate with SAP Vora, right? That's integrate with Hadoop. And this Hadoop is basically the data storage purpose, because Hadoop is the lowest cost, right? You can store the data, but Hadoop is pretty slow. So on top of it, there is a Spark engine where it pulls the data from Hadoop, and where you can apply your big data analyticals. From on top of it, you can apply your machine language, artificial intelligence. Based on that, you can take a number of decisions, right? We already discussed, like we have OLTP and OLAP. So it's all embedded in S/4HANA now. I think there are a number of features. I think we'll talk about multi-storage capability, right? All these things are possible in S/4HANA. Right, I think this is a Lumira screen where it's a graphical oriented, it's a graphical studio, right, where you can represent all the things in graphical, right? You can represent your assets, your people, your companies, whatever it is. You can link through IoT and Lumira, where you can see here. Let's say if we click here, I can see for this sales organization automatically what is the sales, right, and what is the company code, everything, all the details relevant to a company, it will display to you. So this is what we have, OLTP and OLAP back together. Both are into one system now in S/4HANA. All the analyticals, your transactional, everything tied together into one system here. Before we used to have BW system. There is no more BW. All the analyticals will be based in S/4HANA. So SAP S/4HANA, right? They removed all the complexity. We have used RDBMS Relationship Database Management, where if you want to fetch the data, right? If I want to fetch sales order, right? I have to go to VBAK, VBAP. If you want to fetch the pricing, KNOV, all these tied together, right? It's a lot of tables I have to go through, right? If I want to develop a report. Now, and now SAP is done fabulous job here. All the aggregated tables are removed. Only one table which was kept here, that's a VBAP, and material document MacDoc, and in finance ACDoc, right? That's that much of pretty much simplified database. It's improved the footprint of data almost 50 times. This is reducing data footprint, right? This is a DB. Even I implemented a project that was having 250 GB. Then once we implemented 1510, it's almost 70 GB. Once implemented finally, it's 1709. The data was 12 GB. So almost it's improved 50 times of data. So obviously it will perform your data, your analytical much faster, and you can take the decision also much faster. I'll give you one example for how simplicity SAP was done. Right, this is for MRP running for the DP process. Once APO DP, once APO DP release the data to ERP, from there plan requirements will be run. From there, all these are manually need to be done. Excel analyzing it, all these things should be done manually. In SAP side, you have to run the MRP, preload data, and set up M70, M38, analyze the capacity planning, right? Analyze component requirements, set up the data inventory. Everything need to be done. It's very complex. That's pretty much simplified in S4HANA. So this is simplified model. It directly now from the APO DP, it directly put all the demand planning here, demand management. Directly requirements will be generated. Automatically you can release that to your MRP. So now reduce a lot of hassles. SAP improved pretty much in MRP area. One other MRP area I just discussed about, right? Before you have a BOM components, right? You have a BOM and you have a BOM components to that. Once you run the MRP for BOM, again you have to run for BOM components also. Then only your requirement get placed. So usually this kind of an issue, whenever you go and release a production order, you face that, so and so component is not available, right? From there they have to plan it black, and that kind of production get postponed. So basically the customer is very much has to be alert to plan everything well before. So now system itself having that future, they no need to plan everything well before. Once you run the MRP for the BOM, automatically it runs for all the BOM component itself. That's a wonderful feature in S4HANA. I think we are going to discuss that. Now I will going to cover bit into SD, sales and distribution. So in sales and distribution, basically we're going to talk about business partner, right? Here is the business partner approach. It's centralized all the business partner, where you can, right, you can create all your customers vendor into one area, all your sales representative, whatever your clerk, right? Everything can be created in one business partner approach. In this partner, if you create a customer, automatically it can be extended for the vendor also. No need to create vendor data again and customer data again, right? If you create customer data, and you have to extend to vendor data. If you create vendor data, you have to extend to customer data. There is no need of that. In simplified one area itself in BP, transaction is BP. With that, you can create all the data into one centralized area. And data modeling, let's see the data modeling. Now here SAP comes up with a lot of models are implemented. So Fiori, UX, UI5, cloud, on-premise, portals, right? Fiori Launchpad, there are many technologies are used here, but within the S4HANA box, everything is used in the S4HANA box itself. Now your UX, right? Before we call it as a UI, user interface, now user experience. Using this SAP Fiori, all your platform will be single, right? All your screens looks like similar way of doing things in enterprise wide. In this, there are three different user: occasional, expert, and developer. In the occasional, you can use browser based, and if it is expert, you can install that Fiori login into your desktop and you can log in. And there is a developer. The developer can also install the same time, but you have a different authorization for it. So in enterprise wide, you have your mobile, right? Your desktop, right? And laptops. There's many varieties of mediums, right? Your presentation layer. So Fiori looks like same for every screen. If you look at in your mobile, it looks like consistent, right? And you can notepad, if you see it, it's a consistent, your desktop consistent, everywhere, whatever it sees. That's the beauty of SAP Fiori. Wherever you can look at that, you can fetch that data, you can see that it's a consistent screen. So it will be possible to your cloud, on-premise, and hybrid model. Basically hybrid model is it's like on-premise as well as cloud tied together. It's called hybrid model. Okay, let me go to next screen. Go to this. So now we talk about simplification, like we have talking about new business partner and data models. Let me talk about data model. Let me go to data model, which is simplified. Okay, this is a simplified data model now, right? Before you used to have, we discussed it, right? If you want to fetch the data for a sale order, right? VBAK, VBAP, VBAP, KNOV, so much of struggle. You have to go one data to another data, right? Then only you can able to fetch it. Now SAP simplified everything into VBAK. You can see all the data into VBAK, LIKP, and VBRK. All these are no more now. All these tables are no more now, but still you can display it. Those are converted into views, right? Still you can display it, but you can see it, but no more transparent tables. There is no data associated with that. It's just a views, display purpose only, which can be extracted from VBAK, LIKP, and VBRK tables. It's pretty much simplified. And also your pricing tables also simplified. Your pricing table is PRCD. There is no more KNOV, right? PRCD underscore elements. That is your pricing table right now, right? It's basically it's a complete end-to-end right training, right? In S4HANA, there are questions will be asked here, same time, step by step, you know, training and hands-on training will be done over here. And Analyticals, right? There are beautiful analyticals. There is no BW system now. It's are embedded into S4 HANA. All your analyticals, whenever user is logged in, right? You start with his analyticals, basically how many sales ads are created, what is the sales revenue, what are the issues you have, what are the incompletion documents you have, right? From there you can drill down. If you click that incompletion documents, you can see what are the incompletion document, what are the pricing issues they have. You can quickly go and launch into the whatever the issues they have. No need to spend on. Before it was okay, they have to execute several reports to see that where are the problems. They have to diagnose those problems, understand their problem. They have to open the sales orders and find out. Now it's no more. It's just whatever you have the problems, those problems you're going to see it will really improve the end user experience, and it's improved the performance by 40 to 50%. Okay, using your brf plus and brf, you can generate your output. Brf can be applied various ways. Let's say in your sales orders and your purchase orders, there can be certain validations would be required. There is minimum quantity, maximum quantity. Whenever something happened, you have to reject it. There are a number of requirements. It's sales order validations, purchase order validations, even production side validations. There are certain validations are required. Wherever these validations are required, you can apply BRF plus. Your automatically these validations can be configured. So no more ABAP code is required. Using BRF rule itself, we can configure all these validations. So right now in the conversions, let's say you are conversion from your existing classical ERP to S4 HANA, right? You have to transform all the validations and everything. That is there in the ABAP code. You can transform that ABAP code. You can convert every rule into BRF rule, and you can avoid all the user exits, enhancements, so that your performance and your TCI and TCO will be improved. Total cost of ownership and total cost of investment will be improved, and it will be a lower cost. I think this is brief about S4 SD1. But anybody have any questions? Please feel free to ask me. Any questions? Okay, I'm just continuing with this. I'm just closing this. Now, PRO. Let's talk about purchasing side. What are the features and functions, simplifications are available? Let me jump into important slides. Okay, this is your procure to pay solution. So SAP introduced here self-service requisitioning, right? You can directly jump and you can do your self-service requisition, and it's a guided self-service, right? Using SAP Fiori. And here there is a purchase order collaboration. It can be integrate with your Ariba, right? You can collaborate with your Ariba, right? And procurement analyticals. So whenever like a sales user, like a procurement user, if you go and see it, you can see the purchase orders, purchase overview. So in this, you can find all the analyticals, whatever he is responsible for it, you can go and work quickly. It's really advantage, and it's quicker decision making, faster processing of transactions. It really helps out. That is a advantage. It's a SAP is like claiming that more 40 to 50% of faster processing transactions, and it improve the productivity by 50%. So if you invoice payable and invoice collaboration, now we have fully automated invoices. Okay, no need of manually reprocessing that, clearing those items, payable those items. It's automatically vendor get clear and then payable to vendor account. So you can do the segmentation of your vendor and supplier, and supplier evolution. See, before supplier evolution, every time I used to see when I'm working for, anytime, whatever the report of SAP, we used to develop one custom report for vendor evolution. Customer used to have n number of different wide varieties of way of vendor analysis. So vendor analysis by time and the price, right, and the performance and many more. SAP given greater flexibility to have all these vendor analysis into SAP Fiori, right? Your vendor can be analyzed multi-dimension level now. Okay, so no need of customization or the customization report to be developed. See data model here in management. So all these are, if you see the MRD, right? There are a number of tables, right? These are now eliminated. There is no more tables. We have only MacDoc and MARD and MARC partly. Okay. So using the data model, it's pretty much simplified in your inventory management and material master. I'm just going through all the important screens because it's lack of time. So, and there is one more change, right? Material master was 18 characters only before. Now it can be extended to 40 characters. So that we need to activate, go and activate, then system automatically convert to for 40 characters. We're going to show it how that can be activated and everything. So in the operational workflow, pretty much change. We already discussed like self-service requisition, right? You can play and it's a guided requisition. There is no more training and all these things are required. It's a self-service. Whenever you go to the purchase requisition, system simply tell you what are the next steps you're going to work on. We'll see that everything in practically, right? So your analytical overview screen, you can see here. So by supplier wise, you can see your, right? There are many analyticals like this spend variance. This is supplier wise. What is the spend variance, right? And there are n number of analyticals which can be used. I think these are many features. There are many more features available. Maybe let me check here. So invoice payables and are fully automated can be possible, right? And supplier evolution, we have discussed it, and Fiori apps and analyticals. So now I'm moving to logistics execution. Let me move to there are many number of features in logistic execution, like your demand planning approach, your integration with PPDS, MRP. We already discussed about it, right? And it can be tightly integrated with your EWM and your backorder processing. Let's say one example, I take it now. It's a backorder processing. In the backorder processing, usually whenever you create a sale order, right, and you have received them dates, right, ETA dates, estimated arrival time, right? So once you have ETA dates, when you run the MRP, these dates get changed, right? Why it's get changed? Because your production planning is different, and your placed on your sales order and materials management planning is different. It's always get difference. That is the reason your dates get changed. If your dates get changed, let's say you want to provide the material for a week time, and it changed for 15 days. So your customer experience will be, you need to explain to your client, customer. Sometimes there is a grievance from the customer. Your customer cannot be satisfied. So SAP given a wonderful feature over here using MRP live, right, and the backorder processing. So using backorder processing, system automatically based on certain, right, the value from the clients, right, and all these thing combinations, there is a backorder rules. Using that rules, we can keep that the customer has a priority customer. Based on the priority, system automatically move the stock from one customer to one sale order to another sale order. So basically this can be done achieving through configuration. Bit of configuration can be done. So if there is no more CO09, system automatically will schedule this backorder processing. This will really help for an organization, no more focusing on backorder processing and all those things. So how can you, okay, apart from that, how do you manage it, your customer? Because the customer, only the loyal customer will be entertained using backorder processing. What about, not frequent customers, right? For this not frequent customers, SAP come up with another solution using MRP live. Using MRP live, whenever customer knows that delivery dates will be 15 days, based on referring to our previous example, it will intend to, sales executive can see that, right? Before it was, once the production release, that will be decided whether it should be produced or not produced. Now that feature is given to sales team and sales manager and sales executives. They can decide, okay, this cannot be, okay, confirmed from our side, so that they can plan alternatively. They can create a purchase requisition, they get procured from some of the vendors and deliver to the customer. That's way you can win the customers, you can win the customers, and you can delight the customers using this MRP live. There are many number of features are available here. Maybe we'll talk about some other features. So using your order fulfillment like MTO or MTS, right? So there is here there is a new feature here, advanced available to promise, right? And there are a number of features are available in logistics. Maybe it's lack of time, I cannot able to talk about everything, right? But it's open for questions now. Then anybody have any questions they can ask. It's open for questions now. Anybody have any questions they can ask, please. Anybody have any questions? It's 5 minutes is for the questioning hour. Any doubts? So basically here we will teach SAP curriculum, right? Strictly with SAP curriculum and SAP guided material, SAP guided training and hands-on experience. This will help for your certifications. This is for experienced people, right? It's all very practical oriented, right? Conceptual, and we'll talk about how that can be done in SAP. It's a configuration side, mapping side, and the very important is what is a business process, why SAP started this, right? This journey, and same time what is a problem in your classical ERP, how that can be achieved in S/4HANA, how that can be simplified, what is the innovation here. Any questions from anybody? Any question you can type over here. I think if it is no more questions, then
Dear, hello. Could you please unmute yourself and ask the questions? So because instead of typing over there, so it will take time. So I think Shivaji having a question. What is the scope of topic
please.
in the course? Okay. And SM having a question. What is the future of ECC?
Yeah, actually everybody eventually has to move to S/4HANA, because in S/4HANA you see that a lot of features and it will simplify the processes, and same time 50% productivity will be improved, and same time 50% faster transactions. And a lot of problems in ECC based on the performance issues. There is no more performance issues in S/4HANA. ECC will be eventually moved to S/4HANA. That is the way they have to go forward. Any other questions, please? Is that answer your question? Any other questions? I think there was one more question, I think. Can you just repeat that, please?
Yes, Hari having a question that is asking. Let's talk about the business partner, customer vendor integrations.
Yeah, it's just that topic we already covered it quickly, but this is a demonstration. We cannot able to cover business partner. It's a business partner. It takes 1 hour time to cover complete business partner, how to create that and everything. That will be covered. It's a practical training. We're going to give it, right? The business partner and how that can be created, right? What are the different account groups that are available, external number range, internal number range, right? How that can be chosen, how that can be transformed from ECC to business partner. ECC, we have a customer, right? That can be transformed to business partner, right? There is a transformation procedure is there. We'll talk about that, right? And if you create a customer, you can extend that to vendor also automatically. You just click it, it will be extended to vendor also, right? No need to create again vendor. It's the same number can be used for vendor as a customer.
This is Srikant. Sorry, I missed
Yeah.
your introduction. Uh, can I get your name, please?
Vijay Nagalla.
Oh, okay. How many years of experience do you have?
15 plus years of experience.
Oh, okay. Uh, how are you planning to cover this training? What is the kind of flow in your approach?
Right. It's we are going to cover the basics of S4HANA, right? What we covered it, and we covered sales, logistics, and the procurement, and bit into manufacturing area.
Okay, when you say
These
for example, sales, you're going to cover the part that is basically the difference between ECC and S4, the delta of that part, or what exactly you're going to do, like in sales, for example.
right. That's a good question actually. See, now we are upgrading to because S4HANA people are who is going to work on it. It's only suitable for experienced people, not the freshers, right? So you need to understand what was ECC provided, what is the simplification and innovation S4HANA comes up with, right? Your business partner is one. Let's say an example, your MRP, right? Right now, I talked about MRP Live, right? In MRP Live, basically, once you create a sale order, you get some confirmation dates, right? Estimated time of arrival, right? So you get some dates, right? The dot dates are not exactly same. What when it will be decided when the MRP runs, right? Again, your dates are decided based on your production planning. So the dates get changed, varies here. So what happened if the date gets changed, your customer get annoyed and customer never be satisfied, and you have to inform to your customer and and make him understand that then there is a dissatisfaction is there. That is the reason there is a MRP live. Whenever you have the dates, once you run the MRP itself, you come to know when this sales order will be fulfilled, confirmation done, right? You get the exact dates. So based on the dates, you can plan alternatively. Those dates are not met, so that you can plan alternative arrangements. You can create a purchase requisition. Through that purchase requisition, and you can procure from your vendor and deliver to it's a drop shipment from the vendor side, right? That's how you can manage the customer satisfaction pretty well using the SAP S4HANA and MRP Live Future, right? This is not available in ECC. That's what we are going to talk about. What is the problem in ECC? What is the issue? What is the innovation SAP comes up in S4HANA? How that works out? Okay, we compare with ECC and we explain here. That's where you can digest it. Otherwise, it's very difficult to digest it.
So basically, in this training, you're going to cover the gaps or the enhanced
Yes,
version of it. Okay, and
right.
you're also going to perform that in the system as well.
Yes, practical also will going to show it.
And so, what are the modules, functional areas that you're going to components that you're going to cover? Sales and distribution, procurement,
Yeah,
and market.
yeah. Sales and distribution, procurement, and logistics and manufacturing area.
Oh, okay.
And people are interested, we will cover it research and development also. That is for project systems basically. It's a research and development it's calling as.
Okay. I just have another question. So in the initial slide that you showed us, you talked about different components within the core as for HANA.
Right, right.
Does it also have SAP PLM as well?
Product lifecycle management, yes, some part is available. Still SAP is working on some other part. I think 1809 they're going to release that PLM also, most of the PLM. Okay, only the research and development they have right now, right? Remaining other parts, your recipe management, right? And your few components in ALM, ALSM, exactly not remember, but ALM, all these components will be tied together in the 1809 version. I think most of the
एक
SFE is done for.
आ गया तो पूरा 11 हो जाएंगे 8 कस्टमर है 2 स्टाफ है
What is it?
Is that answer your question?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so they're still working on that.
Yeah.
So some component, some parts of
Yeah.
that component is
Some
already.
pop tarts are available in, yeah, 1709. I think 1809 is going to release soon.
Okay. So our this training is basically focused on 1709, not 1809.
Come again? I did not understand your question.
This training is going to be based on 1709 software, right? Not on the 1809.
It's 1709 because on-premise version. It's come, right? It's a,
That's the latest version we have.
yeah, it's
Oh,
on-premise version. It's currently
okay.
that's one is available.
One is available. Okay, so that is the latest.
So even, yeah, SAP release 1809. It won't be available for 3 to 4
General.
quarters. Like maybe 1 quarter. Yeah, it's not easy to available.
Okay, okay, okay. And what's the kind of schedule that we are planning to have this training?
I think it's a everyday 1 to 1 hour 15 minutes. I think it's a 40 to 45 hours it took for entire course to be completed. And we are planning, maybe it's, you have to have a right call with them. If it is weekends also interested, we like to cover 2-3 hours in the weekends also. That's also what we are planning it, right? But we are not
Uh,
yet discussed and finalized
Vijay,
everything, right? But
Vijay,
yeah,
so I was planning to start batch in weekend, okay, and Saturday, Sunday, it will be the same time. So is it possible?
same time, it's like it starts at 8:30 to,
8:30 to 9:30 or 8:30
yeah,
to
that's
10:30.
possible.
Okay, as per as.
Yeah, 2 hours,
Because
something
all
like
are
that. Yeah, we
working
can plan it.
professionals. I think all are working professional, and this time will be
Yeah,
suitable, okay, for them. So,
yeah,
guys, if you
definitely,
have any
definitely we
questions
can do
for
that.
timing, you can reach me. Yeah.
I think better you can consolidate in, we have a one schedule or two schedules, right, based on the different requirements.
Yeah. So initially we will start with the weekend batch. Okay. If they have a specific requirement for weekdays or prospects, then we'll decide for that second batch, weekdays. But when we
Sure,
start initially, yes,
sure,
weekend
sure.
batch.
And you guys
Yeah,
record the videos and share that videos to us as well in case if you are unable to attend the training for some days.
I think that's what I think we will update you what is the plan on that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions apart from this, anyone? Okay, thanks for asking good questions. I think we stay tuned, right? I think you can discuss with right SAP Docs team, right? I think they can help you out in the timings and other parts. So then I think we can stay tuned, and I think we can get connect soon, right? Okay, I think enjoy your weekend, right? And have a good night.
Hello, Vijay.
Yeah.
Are you there? So there's few guys having
Yes.
some
Yes.
questions. Okay, Venkat is asking some
Yeah.
questions.
Please. Yeah.
So
Please.
Venkat,
Yeah, Vijay, this is Venkat. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I can hear you. Absolutely fine.
Actually, yeah, I have experience on SAP BW and HANA,
Mm-hmm.
working since 4 years, and
Okay.
the client is asking me to work on 1709. So
Mm-hmm.
I told them I don't have experience, but they said still you can try it. That's what they are telling. So
Mm-hmm.
how the
In
how this
1709, which part do you want to? Yeah. See, there are two things, right? So let me ask you one question. In 1709, You like to go into as a functional? You like to want to work as a functional?
They are asking to work more on a theory side, to write the
Okay.
specification for query and that kind of thing they are expecting. Because I'm a technical guy, I know little bit functional
Okay.
ECC side also I know little bit, but my prime
Yeah.
main area, my prime area is SAP HANA BW and ABAP technical side. So they
Right.
said that I need to write the theory specs. Then how this course will be useful?
Yeah, yeah. See, we show some Fury screens, how that can be Fury screen can be extended, right?
Yes,
Extended Fury screens also. Let's say you have standard screens. We also extend that screens according to the industry standards and same time customer requirements. We show that how that can be extended, how we can add your data services to that, right?
yes,
And same time, once you have to provide the requirement, right, to your Fury developers. So we
yes,
talk about that, how you can provide a functional requirement, and what is available in standard. Apart from standard, how you have to write some specification for that, right? And you have to
okay.
hand over to uh, your
Technical,
Fury
technical,
developers, right,
yes,
and technical lead.
yes.
So we talk about that, all these aspects, how we can create that and how we can extend this. Based on that knowledge, I think you can extend into 1709. Your expectations, your expectation can be reached.
So to extend into 70, to extend the existing query screens, does that request functional knowledge also?
Of course, you need to have a functional
What?
knowledge.
Yeah.
Without that, right? See, because customer gives a requirement, functionals are the front end to the customer, right? Not the
Yes.
technical team.
Yes. Yes.
Functionals are a front end to the customer. The requirements
Yes.
come from the functional side only,
Yes.
right? And
So
same time, once you provide the requirement, you have to tell them, what are the tables are behind that, right? And
yes.
you have to give that, what is the functional requirement, what is the purpose of it. All these things you have to talk about, right? Because
Yes.
you know that, because you front end in the customer, right?
Yes. Yes. So because I'm facing the customer, to understand the requirements, definitely I need to know functional knowledge. That way
Right.
I can design the right query screens, and
Period screen.
I can give
And
the offshore team to develop it.
yes, that's right, exactly.
Got it, Vijay.
Uh,
Is there any
Right.
special? Is there any
Shivaji having a
specific
question.
training on Fury, or only this core? Is there any specific
No, no.
training on Fury, or only 17
Yes.
your course will cover that?
My course will, because it's everything is Fury based screens only. Whatever I'm going to explain to you, most of the time, most of the things are Fury based screens only. Let's say I
Okay.
have a MRP live. So how
Yes.
that can be, done in MRP live, MRP execution, everything Fury based screens only.
Okay.
Because Fury will be the ultimate user experience. That's what customer is going to use it. Let's say you have some problem, right, in a Fury screen, it will directly create a ticket to you. Nobody
Yes.
tell you to execute in ECC and see this is a problem, right? They tell
Yes.
you, no, this is a Fury screen, I'm having a problem, and you have to resolve that issue. Then if you want to resolve that issue, you have to execute the Fury screen only, right?
Yes.
You have to
Yes.
go and execute the Fury screen only. Otherwise, you cannot able to, understand it, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you
I got.
must understand how the Fury screens are working. That is going to be the user experience. That's even all the functional team must understand how the Fury is working,
Yes.
because
Yes.
it's one central, because there is no GI now. Everything is Fury based only.
It is web IDE.
Yes, it's
Okay. Yeah.
Web ID is one kind of technology used in Fury.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you, Vijay.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Any other question? I think there is one more guy having some question.
Yeah, Nicholas having a questions.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Hi. Sorry, I just connect 15 minutes ago at
Oh,
6. I thought
okay.
the meeting was scheduled for this time, Central European time,
Yeah,
but I might be wrong.
it's okay. If you have any questions, you can go ahead.
I don't know which were the topics presented so far.
Yeah,
My concern is,
I'll just brief you.
yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I just brief you what are the topics that we cover. Then based on that, you can ask, your doubts and clarifications which you require. Okay, so basically we covered here the basics of S4 HANA, right? How
Uh-huh.
S4 HANA evolution, right? Then and we are talking about sales and distribution, innovations and simplification done by SAP. And we are compare here, ECC, this is how the ECP works, and this is a future and innovation with S4 HANA, right? This is S4 HANA looks like that. And we're talking about sales and distribution and procurement and logistics we have been talked about so far here. So I think
Okay.
this was a topic we have covered. I think now you can ask some questions. You have any specific
Okay.
clarification
Yeah.
required?
I'm currently working on an S4 HANA 1709 sandbox, uh,
Very good.
doing the pre-checks activities
Right.
between the ECC on HANA and the S4.
Mhm.
And I'm having some issues with the business partners.
Partners, yeah.
Yeah. There is a report provided in a note. I don't remember the note right now.
Right.
By
Right. There are many
SAP.
notes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, of course, it's validating that the all ECC customers and vendor codes are being in the common tables, but not in the ones related to business partner relationships.
Hmm. Right.
So, so I don't know if you will be covering something related to
Right.
this
So we
transition.
cover the right. We cover the business partner, right? So basically, what are the groups that we have? How we can going to create the customers? What are the number ranges which is required to set it up? Right. What is account groups that's we going to use it? How we can create a customer? How that extended that to the vendor? Okay, and how the transformation, right? You have to transform that all the business partner from your ECC to your S4 HANA. There is a transformation
Correct.
also available. We talk about that transformation, right? How that programs will be used for it, right?
Okay.
We'll
And
talk
that is
about that, and
scheduled for the next meeting.
I think that will be communicated. I think you can get in touch with SAP Docs team, right?
Uh-huh.
I think when we going to start it, they will exactly tell you when we going to start it.
Oh,
Once the
okay.
basic
Yes, as
concepts
well
are
as
done, we
yeah,
talk with
sure,
the
we'll
business
discuss
partner.
about.
I think so. Once we going to complete our basics, that's first thing we're going to start with the business partner only.
Okay. Thanks very
So you
much.
can touch with the SAP Docs team, right? I think they will guide you, when we start the session and everything.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you
much. I
very
think,
much.
yeah. Any other questions, please? Any more questions? That's it.
Hello, Vijay.
Please.
This is Shivaji. Thanks for taking
Shivaji.
this demo. Appreciate for that. And, good to see all the conversations from other people asking these questions as well. So I have two
Yeah.
questions. One
Yes.
is, as you said, we're going to bridge the gap, how ERP is currently working and what are the
Right.
new features in S4 HANA, right?
Right.
So are we going to cover any topics of enhancements done in the warehouse module and carrier integration and transportation side as part of logistics?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we have certain EWM integration in the logistics execution, and partly we have transportation management. It's not much in the transportation management, right? As per simple logistics, we go into that cover that EWM integration bit into transportation management.
Okay, and second question, are we going to cover any migration strategies, like how we're going to convert our existing ERP to S/4HANA, or like what are the steps that we need to consider?
Right. There is a conversion.
And
right. Go ahead. Let's complete.
Or is it like a fresh implementation recommended all the time?
No. There are three models which is associated with it, right? So one is, if it is a new implementation, what is a strategy, right? If it is a conversion, what is a strategy? So how the readiness check can be done, right? What is the programs you can run through, right? And so how the your sizing can be done, right? And how ABAP code convert into S/4HANA transformation. All these things will be we covered it, but practically it's difficult to show it, but we show it in the documented screens, right? And when we explain it, and few programs we give it, like these are the programs you can execute it, and you can see how your readiness of your system, right? We're going to cover that topic. That's an important topic also.
Okay. Thanks.
Great.
Vijay, are we going to get those demo PDFs as well? The one that you're trying to share now?
I think they're going to share you. I think SAP docs, they're going to share you.
Okay, good.
All these demo sessions. There will be another demo also available, I think. But I think you can contact them. I think they will guide you exactly how they're going to do it.
Right. Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Okay, I think.
Shrikant, do you have any questions? Yes, Vijay, they don't have any questions.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. I think have a nice evening. Enjoy your weekend, right? So that we can catch hold. I think you can contact SAP Docs team further any clarifications or communication, right? I think thank you very much.
Thanks.
I think we
Thanks.
stay tuned.
Sure, I
Thank
will
you.
go next. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.